Anyway, so I'm dribbling all over the place in front of everyone, but it's fine, you know, you're in hospital, everyone's got issues. I have to wait 7 hours to get my jaw back in. What that means is I can't eat, I can't drink, I can't speak. Because it happened last night, I think I will definitely have surgery. Hello, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. We're here again with the story time. No, that doesn't make sense because this is the first story time I've done. We're here again, this time with the story time. Oh my god, I mean, I just feel like I should be naked right now because it's too hot, it's too hot. My name is Bella. If you're new here, please subscribe, hit that bell button to get notified every single time I post it every Thursday. I would much appreciate it, thank you. Today, we're telling the story of my jaw. Which, you're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe this. No, you're not going to believe this. No, you're not. You're not. If you're thinking, yeah, I know a friend whose jaw's dislocated. Yeah, no, it is common. If you're... Sorry, can you be quiet, birds? It is common for jaws to dislocate once, okay? But not 5 times. 5 times. We're going to start from the beginning. Once upon a time, it was the 12th of November, 2018. So that's been... It's been 2 and a bit years since it first happened. I'm in Exeter, or was it Cornwall? Well, no, because Exeter's not Cornwall, that's just complete. But we did go to Cornwall. So anyway, I'm with my parents, I'm with family, friends. Anyway, so we're staying in Exeter for God knows what reason. And we're staying in this crappy B&B thing that's on the side of the road in the middle of bloody nowhere. Like, there's fields and I don't know where we are. Anyway, that's beside the point. I'm staying in a room with my parents because that's what my parents do. Like, they make me stay in rooms with them when we go away. Anyway, I'm sleeping in a room with my parents. It's 12 o'clock and we're shattered. So I go to sleep. Just like any other normal night, you know? And I'm lying there and I'm like, oh, I'm a bit tired, you know, really tired, it's 12 o'clock. Anyway, so my jaw, in case you didn't realise by that role play, my jaw pops out. It comes out. This side comes out. And so I'm going to put diagrams up of what actually happens when your jaw comes out. It didn't get locked. It didn't like click. It actually dislocated from where it was supposed to be. What that means is I can't eat, I can't drink, I can't speak. Anyway, and so I'm lying there and I'm like, what the f is happening? Thankfully, my mum is like so overprotective. So she hears me going, and she's like, what's happened, what's happened, what's happened? So she comes over, I'm just lying there like, and then the
tear starts running down my cheek because I'm like, what is happening? I could die.
Like, I don't understand this, what? And my parents are over there and they're like, oh my god, okay, just stay still, we're gonna, you know, call the people, the ambulance, the people, whatever. And so they think they've called the ambulance. My mum was waiting outside for an hour waiting for the ambulance to come. My dad's just like, oh, you know, I'm sure it's fine, just like, we can just put it back in or whatever. I'm like, okay. Anyway, and so we realised that the ambulance isn't coming. It was never coming. I don't really know what happened with that. So we can get into our car and we drive to the Exeter hospital. It's like half an hour away. And I'm, you know, because I can't swallow, I'm like dribbling, like my spit isn't going anywhere, isn't going down my throat. So I have to have like a little like bowl or tissues, or, and it's just like, you know, when you have braces and like you're young and you just, that didn't happen to me, but that was kind of what's happening. Anyway, and so we get to Exeter hospital and it's a Saturday night, and that's what completely fucked the whole situation. This is the first time it's happened. I have no idea what's going on. I think I'm gonna die. We get there, it's Saturday night, and so the whole hospital is full of drunk people. So I have to wait, I'm gonna do this long story short, I have to wait 7 hours to get my jaw back in. I am sitting in the hospital bed for 7 hours. They give me like a catheter thing to pump like ibuprofen. No, people are gonna mock me for saying it like that. They pump like paracetamol into me and whatever that thing does that they put in you, they did that. Anyway, this like doctor keeps coming and going. He has to come see me, then go see drunk people, then come see me, then go see drunk people. And they take me for like 2 x-rays. So it gets to 6 o'clock in the morning and he's like, he's been, get this, he's never dealt with this situation before. He's been Googling how to get my jaw back in on the NHS website. Like, he doesn't know how to do this. And he's, you know, he's quite good looking. Anyway, that's just beside the point. Because he's found this on the internet. He gets loads and loads of lollipop sticks, gives them to me, tapes them together and says, can you hold that in your jaw to stretch the muscles so they become like more lenient? And I just do that and I look ridiculous. And thank God to my dad for giving you guys content, because he took this photo. He takes that out, and the jaws are relaxed, he gets like another nurse, he gets another nurse. Oh yeah, I get morphine. I get 4 shots of morphine, which felt great, honestly. Like, not to, you know, condone drug use, but it's legal, obviously. It felt like I just had 4 glasses of wine instantly. And he comes back in and he just puts his hands in my mouth, back to the molars, because he's Googled this, so, you know, this is correct, which it is. And then one woman's holding my head to like make sure that, I don't know, my head doesn't go anywhere. And because basically what happens is, I've put diagrams in, there's a bone here, this is your jaw, and every time you yawn it goes, and mine has come out and gone like that, so it's completely at the wrong side, so you need to go like this to get it back in. And so that's what he's trying to do. So he's in there and you can see his muscles tensing. He's like, and the first time he tries, doesn't go in, I'm like, second time he tries, doesn't go in, I'm like, third time, pops back in, and I'm like, I can speak, I can swallow. And then obviously, because my mouth has been open for 7 hours, I have a huge clump of phlegm. And so I'm like, well, this guy's kind of fit, I can't just spit it out in front of him. Like, you know, he's fit enough for me not to want to spit phlegm out in front of him, so I just swallow it. So gross. Then 7 months later, oh, it was June, it's prom, okay? It's not the actual prom, it's a prom after party, which actually wasn't on the same day as prom, which doesn't make a lot of sense. It was at our local club, prom after party. I'm wearing like a mini satin dress. You didn't need to know that. Anyway, it's 5 AM, the club's closed. I walk outside, I'm like, fresh air. Everyone's waiting for Ubers. Like, the whole of Ubers around Hertfordshire just aren't working. Like, there are no Ubers. Anyway, so we're waiting there for bloody ages. I'm sitting on the wall and I'm like, oh, I'm so tired. At this point, obviously, you know, I've been told to be careful with my jaw, but I don't think it's gonna happen again, because it's usual for it to happen once. It's not usual for it to happen again. So I'm just sitting there like, yawn. And you guess what happens next? My jaw comes out again and I'm like, no, I literally, like, the first time it happened was scary, yeah? The second time, I was like distraught, because I was like, this means it's gonna be a reoccurring issue. Which I might have surgery, by the way, we'll talk about that later. So I just turned to my friend and I'm like, oh, well, I can't say oh my god, I'm just like, So she takes me to the bouncers and she's like, her jaw's just come out. I'm like, and then they're like, okay, we'll take you over to our little area for like medical emergencies, even though they didn't do shit. Anyway, I get in there, there's like the bouncers, there's the manager, but they're all laughing at me. They're like, oh my god, this is so funny, like, ha. And I'm like, ha ha. And then one of them was like to me, well, you're still the fittest girl here, even with your mouth open. I'm like, well, that's... thanks. None of them even try and put it back in. All of them were like, sorry, I'm not dealing with that. I'm not touching that. Like, no, thank you. I don't want to break your jaw. Anyway, so I call my mum. I didn't call my mum because I can't speak, so I texted her. She comes in with the car, thank God, because we were never going to get an Uber anyway, and takes me to Watford Hospital. He knows exactly what he's doing. I don't know why Exeter was so ridiculous. Anyway, he's like, do you need pain medicine? And I'm like, just get this mother back in. And he's like, you know, dum, boom, and I'm like, and then he wants another bloody x-ray, so I've taken all my earrings, including my cartilage, again for another x-ray, which again, you know, leads to no conclusions whatsoever. So basically he puts it back in, it's all good, it's all fine, but I'm like, this is gonna happen again and again and again, and of course I was right. I just can't believe it. Like, there's obviously a problem, and it's always the right side, by the way. It's all well and good because I'm in England. Like, it happens in Exeter, that was awful. Happens here, you know, you deal with it. But it could happen in France, South Africa, America, where I have to pay or something. I don't get that. Anyway, so next time comes around, this is the third time. I've gone to uni now, it's February 2020. I'm sitting in my uni room watching Maleficent with my friends. I'm giving my friend a massage, you know, it's just a lovely, nice, cozy night in, and then I'm like, just have to yawn, don't I, obviously, because... And no, I can't just stop yawning, okay? For all the people who are going to be like, just don't yawn, like, don't open your mouth ever again. Well, that's easy to say, isn't it? Also, I don't even know why we yawn, like, what is the purpose of yawning? And my jaw comes out again. Anyway, and I'm like, no, f this. I am not going to A&E again. Like, one of you can put it back in. So my friend tries to put it back in, doesn't work. I'm like, get this boy in my flat and get him to do it. He's like, I'm like, grow up, come on, seriously. So they can't get it back in. So we go to Nottingham A&E and the wait says 5.5 hours. So both of my friends are there and they're like, we can't wait 5.5 hours. I'm like, so it's not 5.5 hours. It's like we have to wait like 2 hours, which is still, oh, gross. Anyway, so I'm dribbling all over the place in front of everyone, but it's fine, you know, you're in hospital, everyone's got issues. And then he brings me back and it's this lovely guy. All the guys that have put my jaw back in, which is actually weird because it's always guys. Anyway, I actually have the video of him putting it back in because I was like to my friend, I was like, you have to film this because I might make a story time one day. So he just popped it back in. I was like, I don't need paracetamol or anything, just put it back in. And then he didn't even want an x-ray. If he said I want an x-ray, I would have been like, no thank you mate. I'm not taking all of my earrings out again. I've already had 2 x-rays, so forget it. Because this is obviously an issue, I have an MRI scan booked. I have an MRI scan, which I actually found quite fun. I don't get claustrophobic, but like, I find like MRI scans exciting, even though like, you know, x-rays are bad for you and stuff. They give me the results back, that was only recently. And they're like, well, looks like there's nothing wrong with it. And I'm like, I mean, I think there's something wrong with it. It's come out 3 times now. So it's only happened 3 times. If you didn't know, 3 is my magic number. I'm like, it's not gonna happen again. Like, 3 is enough. 3 is my lucky number. I passed my driving test on the 3rd time. It's not gonna happen again. I'm confident. Sitting, watching Formula 1 with my dad. It comes out again. Anyway, and so I'm at this point, I'm literally like, no, I am not going to A&E. Obviously I can't speak, so I draw my dad a diagram of how to put it back in. I'm like, you're doing this right here, right now. My mum's upstairs, she's oblivious to the whole situation, thank God, because she's just a stress ball. Not stressful, what? She's just a stress head. Anyway, she's just a stress everything. So thank God she didn't know what was going on. All the guys who've done it before use like an immense amount of strength. So I'm like, the issue here is strength. You need to put some welly behind it. But my dad didn't even. He just kind of took his own route and was like, I'm going to do what I want to do. And it worked. So my dad put it back in for the 4th time. And he just basically said that he just grabbed like my molars and whatever and just rocked it in a U shape. And it went back in there. So I was like, thank God for that. So I just went back to watching Formula 1. And so anyway, I was going to come on here and I was going to be like, it's happened 4 times, you know, that's it. But it hasn't happened 4 times because it happened last night, okay? It knew, my jaw knew that I was filming this. Like, I don't know what happened. I'm lying in bed, it's 1 o'clock, no, it's 2 AM, I'm lying in bed, I still can't get to sleep because I'm thinking about dictatorships. And I yawn and it comes out, and anyway, I'm just like, so I get up, I put my trackies on, I go downstairs, I wake my dad up, turn the light on, and I'm like, Anyway, he goes, washes his hands, because I don't know where those hands have been, don't want them in my mouth. I ran upstairs again, I got my camera, because I was like, I'm going to film this, because this will be great to put in the story time. But I didn't end up filming it, because my dad was in his boxers, and I looked awful. Anyway, so he just put it back in, like, quite easily. It's like, this time it actually did hurt. I think he was a bit too violent, so I have to have a word with him about that. He was like, that went back in so easily. And so I come back in to bed and I go to sleep. And that's it. It's happened 5 times now. And that's the weird thing, it happens every 7 months, apart from the 5th time. So it was supposed to happen in April because I measured the amount of time between each time when it happens, and it's 7 months. 7 used to be my favourite number. I think it's gone a bit salty that I changed it to 3 now. And on January 14th, so in 10 days, I have an appointment with the head of maxillofacial to talk about keyhole surgery. I know, keyhole surgery. So I might be having keyhole surgery, which I'm actually really, really happy about, because I, as you can understand, do not want it coming out again, ever. I think I will definitely have surgery, and I'm going to vlog it for you guys, because, you know, I want to look back on it and I think you guys might be interested in me having surgery. The one really good thing is that I have tested lots of different A&Es. So I can tell you, you're probably going to want to go to Watford, except that can be quite busy. Nottingham's actually quite good, but again, that was quite busy. Exeter's no-go. Don't go to Exeter, because they don't know what they're doing. Although it was a lovely man. He was so great, but you know. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this story time and found it entertaining somehow. Please subscribe if you aren't already. It means the world to me. It means an awful lot. Hopefully soon you're going to see a surgery vlog, so that's something to look forward to. Please like if you did enjoy this video. Apart from that, I'll see you next Thursday.
Coming in, yeah, flex, I just wanna win, yeah, LA BB, who we running with.